So my name's Alice, I'm a speech and language therapist for Iris Speaks. I work for the NHS 4 days a week, and I work in mainstream schools, primary and secondary, and I love what I do. I love working with the children in the schools, but I often feel like I see them in that one setting and there's not as much joined up working with parents as ideally I would like in a busy NHS caseload. So when I found out about Iris Speaks, I thought it gave a really nice opportunity to get more involved with working with parents and supporting them with some of the difficulties that I know they're experiencing at home, but my day-to-day job doesn't always allow me to do. So it felt like I could be using some of my skills in a slightly different way. So that was really a motivating factor. But also I've done lots of work in my NHS work with thinking about how technology can be used to support the speech and language therapy work that we do, and I think this is a really powerful way of working with families to get them more involved using the technology that we've got access to now. In terms of the medical profession, I think speech and language therapists are quite forward thinking, and there's lots of interesting work going on in terms of using technology, apps and pieces of software, and also video conferencing in new and exciting ways to provide the speech and language therapy services in a way that's a bit more tailored and specific to the parents and the children that benefit from our services. And I'm quite excited about some of the ways that we can use this to make services more accessible to children and families, to be able to provide a different level of input or a different style of input, really working together and with the families to tailor and work on specific areas of needs rather than just working to the specifications of a service. So, I've learnt a huge amount since becoming involved with Iris Speaks. I've learnt about the world of private therapy in terms of different really specific bespoke speech and language therapy interventions that can be offered, that can be more intensive than the therapy that I was able to offer previously. So I'm trying out some different interventions and different styles. I think I've gained a huge insight into some of the frustrations that parents and families are experiencing with their NHS speech and language therapy provision, which has, I think, enabled me to develop both in my NHS work as well as in my independent work, and really open my eyes to some of the communication challenges that children and young people are having that we can support with by using the technology in this way. So my work with Iris Speaks enables me to keep my skills fresh in a wide range of areas, because we work with such a diverse caseload, such a diverse range of children and young people. So it gives me a chance to practice some of those clinical areas that might not be coming up in my day-to-day work at the moment. I've been writing specific blogs and specialist articles around areas of clinical interest, so it gives me a chance to do some CPD into areas that really interest me, rather than just being led by the needs of a caseload. It also is another motivation to keep on top of what's happening out in the world in terms of in the press and the news, because we want to keep things interesting and relevant to the parents. So it's really helped me keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on. Some of the other things that I think working for Iris Speaks gives me is a chance to think really innovatively and flexibly and creatively about what we're doing, because it can be the world of technology is very fast moving, and Iris Speaks is a very forward-thinking, fast-moving company where we're always sort of shifting direction according to what the market, what the parents and families are wanting at that moment, rather than there's a lot more responsiveness than in many of the bigger companies, or certainly within the NHS world, that they can be. I think working for Iris Speaks, it's the flexibility to do little bits of work around your other work that you're doing, and the fact that it's from home, so I can do an hour's session on a Saturday morning and still have the rest of my Saturday to myself, but feel like I've really help that child, family, or it's flexible around my needs as well as around the family's, so it's a really nice opportunity to do a little bit of work in addition without it feeling like you've got to do a day a week on top of your day-to-day job.